This is Romeo and Juliet, Act 1, Scene 3. We are still at the Capulet mansion, and in this scene we have Juliet, her mother Lady Capulet, and the nurse.
Nurse, where's my daughter? Call her forth to me.
Now, by my maidenhead at 12-year-old, I bade her come. What lamb? What, Ladybird? God forbid, where is this girl? What, Juliet?
How now? Who calls?
Your mother.
Madam, I am here. What is your will? This is the matter. Nurse, give leave a while. We must talk in secret.
Oh?
Nurse, come back again. I have remembered me. Thou'st hear our counsel. Thou knowest my daughter's of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age into an hour.
She's not 14.
I'll lay 14 in my teeth, and yet to my team be it spoken, I have but 4. She's not 14. How long it's now to Lammerstein?
A fortnight and odd days.
Even
Okay, so Lady Capulet is looking for Juliet, and the nurse calls her, and Juliet comes running. And Lady Capulet says, "Okay, nurse, go away." And then right away she remembers, "Oh yeah, you're allowed to hear all of our secrets. Come on back in." And so they're talking about Juliet's age, and Lady Capulet says she's not 14. And the nurse makes a joke, and she says, "I'd bet 14 of my teeth, but I only have 4, that she's not 14. How long is it until Lammerstein, which is Juliet's birthday?" And Lady Capulet says, "A fortnight and odd days." So it's a couple weeks until Juliet's 14th birthday.
Rod, of all days in the year, come Lammas Eve at night, shall she be 14.
Nurse.
Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age. Well, Susan is with God. Oh, she was too good for me. But as I said, on Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. That shall she marry, I remember it well. 'Tis since the earthquake now 11 years, and she was weaned. I never shall forget it, of all days of the year upon that day. For I then laid wormwood to my dog, sitting in the sun under the dove house wall.
Juliet.
My lord and you were then at Mantua. Nay, I do bear a brain. But as I said, when it did taste of wormwood on the nipple of my dog and felt it bitter, pretty fool to see it tetchy and fall out with a dog. Shake, quoth the dove house, 'twas no need, I trow, to bid me trud.
Goodness, I pray
And
thee.
since that time it is 11 years. For then she could stand, high lone. Nay, by the rood, she could have run and waddled all about. For even the day before, she broke her brow. And then my husband, God be with his soul, oh, he was a merry man, took up the child. Yea, quoth he, dost thou fall upon thy face? Thou wilt fall backward when thou hast more wit. Wilt thou not, Jewel? By my Anadam, the pretty wretch left crying, and said I, to see now how a jest shall come about. I warrant, and I shall live 1,000 years. I never shall forget it. Wilt thou not, Jewel, quoth he, and pretty fool, it stinted, and said I.
Enough of this. I pray thee, hold thy peace.
Yes, madam. Yet I cannot choose but laugh. I think it should leave crying and say I. And yet I warrant it had upon it brow a bump as big as a young cockerel stone. A perilous knock, and it cried bitterly. Yea, quoth my husband, forced upon thy face, thou wilt fall backward when thou comest to age. Wilt thou not, Jew? It stinted, and said I.
And stint thou too, I pray thee, nurse, say I.
So we get a little bit of background knowledge on the nurse here. First of all, as maybe you can tell, she really likes to talk, and she likes to joke around and to tell stories. And so we learn that the nurse has raised Juliet since birth, basically. She had a daughter, Susan, at the same time that Juliet was born, and so that made her able to nurse Juliet. And Susan died, and so Juliet kind of like became the nurse's baby. The nurse raised her a lot more than Lady Capulet did. Lady Capulet is not a great mother. And so she's just talking about Juliet's childhood. And you may hear Lady Capulet was telling her to be quiet most of the time. And at one point even said, "Enough of this, hold thy peace." And the nurse says, "Okay, sorry." And then she just keeps talking. So she really likes to hear her voice. But basically the nurse has raised Juliet since birth. That's the main takeaway here.
Yes, I've done. Oh. Oh, God, mark thee to his grace. Thou wast the prettiest babe that e'er I nursed. And I might live to see thee married once. I had my wish.
Marry, that marry is the very theme I came to talk of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your dispositions to be married?
It is an honor that I dream not of.
So the nurse says, "You are such a sweet baby, and if I live to see you married, all my wishes will come true." And Lady Capulet says, "Wow, that is actually what I came to talk to you about. So, Juliet, what is your attitude about marriage?" And Juliet says, "It is an honor that I dream not of." So at this point, 13-year-old Juliet doesn't want to get married.
An honour. Were not I thy only nurse, I would say thou hadst sucked wisdom from thy teeth.
Well, think of marriage now. Younger than you, here in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers. By my count, I was your mother much upon these years that you are now a maid. Thus then, in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
A man, young lady, such a man as all the world. Why? He's a man of wax.
Verona's summer hath not such a flower.
Nay, he's a flower. In faith, a very flower.
So Lady Capulet says, "There is a man, Paris, who wants to marry you." And the nurse gets really excited and she says, "Oh, he's a man of wax." And then they call him a flower. So there's a couple metaphors they use to describe Paris, but basically a man of wax meaning, oh my gosh, he's so perfect. It's like he's made of wax. So this man wants to marry Juliet. We heard him talking to Lord Capulet earlier, and now Lady Capulet's asking Juliet what she thinks about it.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman? This night you shall behold him at our feast. Read o'er the volume of young Paris' face, and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. Examine every married lineament, and see how one another lends content, and what obscured in this fair volume lies, find written in the margin of his eyes. This precious book of love, this unbound lover, to beautify him only lacks a cover. The fish lives in the sea, and 'tis much pride for fair without, the fair within to hide. That book in many's eyes doth share the glory that in gold clasps locks in the golden story. So shall you share all that he doth possess by having him, making yourself no less.
No less, nay, bigger. Women grow by men.
Speak briefly. Can you like of Paris' love?
I'll look to like, if looking liking move. But no more deep will I endart mine eye than your consent gives strength to make it fly.
So Lady Capulet says, "Paris will be at our party tonight. Will you please go look at his face and see if you can find pleasure in it? Can you love him?" And she says, "He is single and he is perfect. The only thing that could make him complete now is a wife. And so if you marry him, you will be just as admired as he is." And she makes the comment about how marrying him would make you no less. And by that, she means they are of the same social class. They have lots of riches. Their families are similar in wealth. And so you would be no less. Well, then the nurse pops in and makes kind of an inappropriate joke. And she says, "No less, nay bigger, women grow by men," meaning men make women pregnant. And so if you were to marry him, you would be bigger. So Lady Capulet says, "Let me know, can you love him?" And Juliet says, "I'll check him out. I'll give him a try, but no promises."
The guests are come, supper served up. You called, my young lady asked for, the nurse cursed in the pantry, and everything in extremity. I must hence to wait. I beseech you, follow straight.
We follow thee. Juliet, the Countess stays.
Go, girl. Seek happy nights to happy days.
So the serving man comes in and says, "Hey, the guests are arriving. The party is about to start. You need to get down there." And so Lady Capulet says, okay, Juliet, the Count is waiting for you, the County, so meaning Count Paris. And the nurse says, go girls, seek happy nights to happy days. So basically she's saying, go look for a man who will give you happy nights at the end of a happy day. So another comic relief, inappropriate kind of joke from the nurse. That is it.